Pawn shops, P-A-W-N shops, have existed for thousands of years. They're one of the oldest forms of banking where people exchange items for cash or a loan.
I think the other ones have existed for quite a while as well. But anyway, our next guests possibly have seen just about everything that could be exchanged for cash at their family-owned pawn shop in Las Vegas.
Well, from priceless paintings to antiques and even a can of, get this, elephant manure called Zoodoo. We'll hear about that in a bit. Let's hear from the father and son duo Rick and Corey Harrison from the hit TV series Pawn Stars. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Rick, let's start with you. You've been in the business since you were a teenager. Tell us what it was like when you first got started.
Well, it was a lot different back then. First, there was no internet. There was next to no research tools.
So no eBay, etc. for people to
No, nothing like that. What you bought, you sold in your shop.
Yeah.
Now, basically, we sell things worldwide through the internet, eBay, all sorts of different channels.
So I guess it's become a much more lucrative business now then.
Yeah, it has, but then again, you have a lot more competition.
Right.
Okay, so it's either adapt or die. So we try and keep our store different than the other stores, the best customer service in the world, and things like that. And it's led to us being one of the most successful pawn shops in the States.
All right, well, talking about it being a lucrative business, obviously the last few years we've been going through it's been a pretty tricky global climate for the global economy. So does that help a business like yours?
It's not as good as you would think. I mean, when the economy is bad, you have everyone selling and no one buying. The one good thing is the price of gold has consistently gone up over the past 10 years. Past couple of years it's been a little stagnant, but that really helped out. But a bad economy is not necessarily good for a pawn shop. The basically items for under $100,000 and really, they'd actually come down in price. Antiques and collectibles above that, they stayed good, and most of them still went up during those times.
Okay. Corey, tell us a bit more about the items that people bring in and how you also value them and decide whether you take them on.
I mean, we get everything in. I mean, from human skulls to jewelry to, I think our most common item is just a regular wedding band, cars, motorcycles, all that stuff. And the way you value stuff like that, I mean, besides the jewelry, it is, you look for quality in the way stuff's made. I mean, everything today is made to be replaced. I mean, it used to be you buy a TV, that was your TV that you had for life. Now, 2 years, you throw it in the trash and buy a new one. So, I mean, when you're looking at antiques, you want to look for, the quality, the way stuff's made. And if it's something old and it's something made very well, then it's probably going to be worth some money.
Okay, well, I've got to ask you then, because we did mention it just a moment ago, and because apparently in one episode, a customer walks in and wants to sell a can of elephant manure for $10,000. How do you check on the quality for that?
You got to figure someone's going to want to buy it. I mean, there's got to be somebody out there that has that relative they just don't like, and that's what they're going to send them for Christmas.
One man's junk is another man's treasure.
Absolutely.
Tell us, what's the most expensive item on sale at the store at the moment that you've got?
At the moment, I have a medal from the World Cup. From 1972, it was considered the greatest soccer game ever played. It was the last World Cup that Pele was in. I have that on sale for $125,000.
Right,
Johnny Cash's driver's license in there right now for $100,000. It's not worth it. I just priced it that high because I don't want to sell it.
Some interesting items there. I got to say that '66 is a more important World Cup to me. Okay. But now, apparently, the most expensive item on sale at the store is a JFK cigar box.
That's one of my most. This was the cigar box that actually sat on JFK's desk in the Oval Office. He had a different cigar box that he kept his own cigars in, but those were all Cuban cigars. And after the United States had an embargo with Cuba, so he didn't want to give those away. So he put a different cigar box on his desk with less expensive cigars that he gave away to everybody.
All right, so a bit of history behind that piece then.
I think what makes this TV series just so gripping is all the drama that goes behind it as well. People coming in and trying to get rid of their stuff, and you telling them yes or no. Or tell us a bit more about what it's like making that exciting.
The odd thing is, I think one of the reasons why the show is so successful is because it is all real. I mean, there's nothing scripted there. they have to break it up a little bit. A person will come in the store, the director will put them by the door, they'll walk up, I'll say, hey, what do you got? And it's the first time I've seen it. We'll start talking for a little bit, and then the director goes, all right, that was great, now do it again so I can get a different camera angle.
Yeah, we know all about it, yeah.
And I'll start, you know, I'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll say, well, how much do you want for it? And he'll go, no, stop, more history.
Yeah. So how do you ensure that it makes good TV?
I really don't know, because it's just what we do for a living. It's what I've always done.
So
you know, we'll haggle back and forth.
that are interesting to the viewers.
The reason I think it's so successful is there's so many different things going on. It's a game show. Because first round, is it real? Second round, how much do you get for it? Bonus round, I call on an expert.
Right.
There's Chum Lee, which every child in the world absolutely loves. I don't know why, but they do. And there's the family interaction, there's the history lessons. I try and keep it a family show.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, I think one of the things that makes it so popular is that anybody can have one of the items on our show on a shelf or in their basement or in their attic or in their closet or something. Yeah. And it could be on Pawn Stars one day and, you know, oh my God, that thing Grandma left me years ago is actually worth $10,000.
Well, it's that whole idea of having treasure in the attic, I suppose. But I mean, you know, it's a game, that, like you say, but it's a game that you're involved in as well. So, have you ever been burnt by any of the trades you've made?
Absolutely. You know, it's part of doing business. I mean, they come out with new and better ways to make fake items and stuff all the time, and unfortunately, we're probably the first people to get burned by them, but, you know, just as long as it doesn't happen twice, you're doing okay.
Yeah, I recently spent $12,000 on a letter written by Napoleon that turned out it wasn't exactly written by Napoleon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So things do end up happening.
Yeah.
But no risk, no reward.
Yeah. The fact that this is a 24-hour pawn shop in Las Vegas also adds to the interesting factor, doesn't it? How is it different from any other pawn shop?
Well, we're open 24 hours a day. We have people from all around the world. One odd thing about Las Vegas is it's everyone from around the world moves to Las Vegas because the taxes are so well there, especially in the States. So we just get a really eclectic mix of people and items, and that's what makes it really cool. Plus, there's a lot of people that go crazy at the casinos and have to come see me.
You're conveniently located.
Yes.
Now, any bad experiences you can tell us about?
No, not really. I mean, it's
maybe some of the customers that come to the shop there.
I can't tell you how many times we're the bad guys because they come, a person comes in, they bring in Grandma's silver set, and we're going, that's not real. And it's like, oh, no. And also all this language starts coming out of their mouth. And I try to explain to them, well, if it was real, I'd want to buy it and make money off you. There's no reason for me to lie. And then it's still, escort them out of the store.
So do you rely on just your expertise and your knowledge and your experience to be able to tell whether something is real, or what kind of steps do you take to verify if something is legitimate?
Well, if I don't know it's real, I'm not sure. There's other people I've been dealing with for years. I will call them in. I put them on the show all the time, and they can help me out with it. We do research on the internet.
Yeah.
I have a huge library that I go through stuff.
Right.
Like some of the markings on jewelry and silverware and stuff is so arcane you can't remember it all. I have books that are that thick just on pottery markings.
It's just not possible to know everything, is it?
No.
But I mean, as you grow in experience, you learn more about it, I guess.
You learn more and more, but some things there's no encyclopedic brain that big.
Well, leave us perhaps with your tips. Share with us your golden rules when striking a deal.
Always be willing to walk away. Because if you're not willing to walk away, it's not really a negotiation. You're not anything. You're going in the end, you're going to pay.
So some bartering skills there.
Yeah, it's not even a bartering skill. I mean, literally, be willing to walk away. If you're out buying a car, a house, anything, a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
If the person in front of you knows you're not going to walk away and you're going to pay the price to the end, it's not negotiating, is it?
Right. Okay. So, what would you say, Corey?
Do your own research first. Don't walk into a place to sell something and just expect them to tell you what it's worth. If you're gonna go trade in your car on a new one, spend a couple days finding out what your car is worth.
Okay.
You'll be surprised how how many people don't do that?
Okay, so good tips there. Do your research and be prepared to walk away. But my question is, what if you really don't want to walk away and you really want that thing? You
Well, there's a sucker born every minute.
Sucker born every minute. Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Rick and Corey Harrison from the TV series Pawn Stars sharing with us their tricks of the trade.